Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with another Let's Play episode of Torulf's Path from Dawn Chorus. I just got done with a pretty nice workout. I'm feeling nice and happy, you know. I'm fully hydrated. I'm ready to start talking. Let's do it. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Let's see. Okay. Alright, here we go. Alright. And maybe keep it to yourself for now, okay? Sure thing. Time for a tactical change of topic. So what are you doing here? Oh, that's an easy one. I came here because I hoped that someone didn't take the sunshine roll. But then when I came here, all the food was already gone. But I liked it here, so I stayed. Do you know that feeling you get when you visit spaces that were always crowded, but are now completely empty? I love that feeling, and this place feels just like that. I'm sure there must be a name for that. One of those you see in articles like 10 obscure emotions that actually exist or something. I nod. Yeah, I can definitely feel that too. Liminal space. Sorry? Liminal space. That's what people call it. It feels frozen in time and slightly unsettling, but also familiar and oddly calm. I read that term some time ago, but in this context it no longer really has anything to do with the actual liminality. Liminality is a state that occurs at the threshold before crossing it completely after the point of no return. It was coined by an anthropologist to describe the state of ambiguity that occurs during the transitional part of rites of passages. It's what's between the metaphorical death, leaving a certain phase behind, and entering the new phase, changed. That's a lot of information in not many sentences. Where did you read about that? Oh, that's part of what we learn in our course. We have some basics of anthropology. I thought cognitive science would be a bit closer to neurobiology, and maybe our fears aren't that similar after all. Ha! Probably. I look at the closed notebook on the table beside Bjorn. It's been intriguing me ever since I have entered the room. By the way, what were you writing? I gesture at the notebook, and Bjorn glances back at it, looking somewhat uncomfortable at the question. Nothing much. I'm just noting down some ideas. Pry. I tilt my head, looking at him quizzically. Ideas for what? I'm working on a story. I don't have much done so far, so I'd rather not share anything yet. A story? So, are you like a writer? No, not a writer. Definitely. So, this is the first thing you're working on? Not exactly. He seems really uncomfortable with this topic. I think it'll be best if I drop it for now. So, what are you doing later? Oh, thought about asking Travis for a game of snooker. But if you'd be up for it, we could play together. Alright, Devin mentioned that there's a table there. Why not? I've seen a few matches in my life, and I've always wanted to try. I still have a couple things to do, but if you wanted to play, I'll be back in my room in maybe 15 minutes. It's room number 14. Just knock. Okay, I'll leave you for now and think about it. I like that sudden narrowing of the eyes. It was a good touch. Later then. See ya. See ya. I leave the cafeteria and walk around the guest house some more, the rest of the walk continuing uneventful. Hell yeah, there's my boy. Time moves so slowly here. Nothing here changes. Since I returned to the guest house, no one else passed through here. No one entered, no one left. The gray clouds behind the window barely moved, and it had already stopped snowing. If not for the constant ticking of the clock, one could think that even time stood still here. I find it really comforting. If time doesn't move, then I don't have to either. For the first time in God knows how long, I feel like I have all the time in the world. My thoughts are a blanket I wrap myself in. They flow gently like a calm river, coming in waves, leaving no trace behind them. Sudden paw steps rake me out of the trance-like state. Was I just falling asleep? I look at the entrance and see Torulf standing there in the glazed mid-corridor, looking outside. Against the backdrop of the gray sky, he looks pretty dramatic, like a figure from Caspar David Beckendich's painting. Without even thinking of what I'm doing, I hop onto my paws and start walking in his direction. I was lying down a bit too long for that, apparently, though, because I immediately start feeling dizzy and my field of vision blurs. I have to lean against the wall, and that's when Torulf turns around and notices me. Holy shit, Carvin, are you alright? He rushes towards me, grabbing my shoulders, looking at my face with horror. Seeing the frightened look on his face, I get pretty spooked myself, but the absurdity of the situation hits me and I start laughing. Torulf looks at me with immense confusion, and I laugh even harder. But, are you feeling well? Do you have any fever or anything? I finally recompose myself and take a step back. Sorry, I got up too fast. And here I rush to the rescue, gravely concerned about you. He shakes his head, looking at me with disappointment. What are you doing here, Carvin? Well, I don't really have anything to do, so I was just relaxing on the couch before I saw you there. He looks at me suspiciously. Unacceptable. We have to find you something to do then. Do you want to tag along? Oh, this could be fun. Or at least sounds more interesting than lazing around the whole day. That I can do anywhere and at any time. Sure, what do you have in mind? Actually, not much. I'm pretty bored myself. I came here to look at the scenery, hoping that I could maybe find someone here by accident. And look, here you are. Well, that's disappointing. Hey, sorry I don't have some great plan prepared. I didn't think I needed to come here with one. We could always just sit here in the lobby. Wouldn't it be better to go sit in a room? Actually, why are you sitting here instead of your room? Oh, wait, I know. Why don't we go to the common space? I think there's a record player there. I haven't noticed it, but then I didn't really look at it before. I'm glad he didn't wait for me to answer, because I don't really feel like explaining it all again. Good idea. Why not? Great. Let me lead the way then. We moved to the common space. I went past it a few times before, but I never paid much attention to it. It's divided into two parts, with the snooker table in a separate room and a few armchairs and couches arranged around a table on the other. There's also a record player standing there in the corner. It's definitely an old one that fits the room very well, adding a lot of charm to it. There's also a fireplace that certainly adds to the coziness. It's obvious that a lot of attention was put into designing this space. I like it here. He sits down on the sofa and points to the space next to him, clearly expecting me to sit there. Hell yeah. I take the spot next to him reluctantly. We're so close to each other that I'm almost snuggled against him. He has been nothing but nice to me, but it still feels a bit weird. It's the second time we're seeing each other. I barely know him. It feels like our friendship progresses much faster on his part than on mine. It's quite hot in the room with a burning fireplace, but I especially feel it now, sitting next to Torulf. I take my sweater off and throw it onto the armrest before turning back to the tiger. Torulf, tell me something about yourself. So far I only know what do you study and where do you live, and it doesn't really say anything about you as a person. Torulf nods and lifts his finger in a stopping gesture. Sure, but first, let's play some music. Some of the albums are already scattered on the table on which the record player stands, and Torulf leans in to take a better look at them. They have some good ones here. Do you have any preferences? Oh, they have the new Nimble Foxes album. I was listening to it a lot lately. I have an idea, though. Let's pick something neither of us knows. Fine by me. Maybe this one. He picks one of the albums up. It has a white cover with a tiger sitting on an orchid-shaped rock among flowers, looking at the sunset. It's vivid and colorful, but at the same time feels contemplative in a way. This cover art looks interesting. Buildings Like Radiators. Weird name for a band. Do you know them? No, never heard of them. Okay, let's try this one then. He takes the black record out of the sleeve and puts it on the record player. The first notes of the track play from small wooden speakers standing on both sides of the player. Soft acoustic guitar that fits the space well. Record players have their charm. I haven't seen one in a long while. There was one trendy jazz cafe in Helsinki that had one. I've been there twice. That was the last time, probably. I've heard people likening the vinyls to analog photography, but I think the comparison misses the point. With analog photography, the focus is on medium and its limitations, and the end result is usually visibly different from digital photography. But it's not really the case with analog records. I don't agree that they sound vastly different, unless the record is scratched or dirty, but with vinyls the focus is on the ritual itself. Admiring the album cover, taking the record out of its sleeve, cleaning it first properly, then dropping the needle and observing how the vinyl record revolves around the plate. It's much more absorbing than just playing a song on Stripify. Stripify, really? Not Podify? Okay, I'll stop. So, what would you like to know? Maybe tell me why you chose to study experimental biology. Oh, that's a complicated story. So, I'll start by saying that I first got a bachelor's degree in computer science and worked for a few years as a web developer. I got the first job when I was still studying, but when I got my degree, I was offered a much better position elsewhere. I accepted it, of course. Everything was going well. I was earning more than I ever hoped for, while doing less than I thought I would have to. And I am going to save it right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are on the path to romance and the good boy Torulf. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell until the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!